Aren't you at your friend's sleepover? Where are you?
Now. What the freak? That first one, the door was open, bro. The door was open and it was happening, bro. No! I don't Girl, I don't know what I would do, because at the moment it's just like, would you wake up your boyfriend? But your boyfriend will go look. Your boyfriend will go look, and your boyfriend might get caught. No, stop it. And the second one, I've been seeing that a lot lately. I just saw that on iTrack, and I was just like, I didn't see the part where she grabbed her son. Her son was going to go answer the door like, oh, that's brother. What are we doing? That's brother. No, I'm glad she grabbed her son. Her son was like, what are you doing? You crazy? That's, your son, your other son. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. The third one, bruh. If that dog, I'm just grateful the dog did not have thumbs, because when he heard his owner's voice outside the door, his little tail just went, oh, okay. No. And then what was that thing? The gargling, growling sound. They got real aggressive. Nope. Stop it. What is that? Not anything I want to experience or come across. Like, nah, we protected in this house, honey. We're protected. I'm sending protection through the screen for you, because ain't no way. Girl, bye. I mean, fucked up. I can't even watch the next video now. I got 2 more to go, bro. Okay, we're just gonna do it. We're just Nikeing it. It's a Nike year. Okay, so I'm gonna selfishly plug myself right here, right now. Okay, I think Friday, my book will be out on Amazon. Go ahead and get it, cop it. I'm gonna put the link in here after, it's ready and published on Amazon. It's called Something About 30. I'm gonna put the book cover here. Yeah, go get it, go read it. It's for women. Now I know, like, it's written from my perspective, and if you did not know, I'm a Black woman, but it applies to every woman. But because I'm a Black woman, I wrote it from a Black woman's perspective. But every woman can relate to this. Shoot, everybody can relate to this. Honestly, everyone of color can relate to this. But women definitely, any race of a woman can relate to this, can identify, can use this book. Selfishly plugging that. Go get your book. All right, let's go now. I'm ready. I'm better. Thought about happy things. Let's go.
Have you guys ever seen The Never-Ending Story? Because that movie gave me nightmares as a child. That movie scared me for 2 reasons. The first one being the creature that the little boy flew around on top of. It was like an old man got turned into a dog, got turned into a dragon, and it scared me. I'll have to look up his voice, but anytime he spoke, it made me want to cry. It made me uneasy. The second reason this movie terrified me is because of the scene where his horse dies in the swamp of despair. In this story, we have a swamp where it's a known fact, if you're sad and you walk through the swamp, you start to sink like quicksand, and it takes you, so you can't be depressed. For some reason, instead of the main character being sad or depressed, they decide to have the horse he's been riding this entire story get sad and start to sink. It's a devastating scene where this boy is begging his horse to cheer up so he doesn't die, but it doesn't work. He sinks in the swamp. The horse is gone.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie. Have you seen that movie? Comment below if you've seen it, and was it scary to you? That is really messed up. But thinking now, a lot of our childhood stories and TV shows and movies were messed up. Like Beetlejuice, messed. We learning about this stuff is like messed up. Like what they said Rugrats was messed up. Even though it wasn't the case, it's still messed up. And the Teletubbies, messed up. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was messed up. So yeah, I don't put it past them. Like, yeah, probably messed up. And her eyes was mad scary, bruh. Like usually, I don't know, maybe not, maybe not. I guess my eyes are mad scary because you can't really see the separations. Like my eyes look completely black. Like they're black now. You can't see the separation of the line because usually you see the separation with the colors and everything. And like with my grandma, my eyes, you see the sun in her eyes. It's scary still too. So her eyes, that lady's eyes, was scary. Maybe it's just me because I've never seen that color of eyes before. But it was a little scary. I feel like with that movie, they was probably trying to signal to us because I don't know if you guys experienced it, but a lot of people my age, there was this one time period in our lives that we were all depressed. I felt like everyone I knew that was of my age was depressed. So maybe they were just trying to, like warn us or let us know, hey, one time you're going to be depressed and you're going to want to, like things are going to make you want to sink into that sunken place, but you still just got to cheer yourself up. Or I don't know, maybe I don't know what they were trying to do with that, but that's what I'm reading into. Maybe they were just like, hey, or for a warning, this might happen, or you need to know how to deal with depression, or you will be depressed one day, or whatever they were trying to say. Not speaking it on anybody nor me. Like, no, you're not depressed, you will not be depressed. Like, positive energy, positive vibes, positivity, sending it to you. So yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do with that video, with that movie. So comment if you've seen it.
Scary story time on my first ghost experience while I make slime. So get your money's worth and let it drain. I was about like 4 or 5 when this happened. I was between the ages of like 4 and 5. Okay, they presented themselves as like the Disney princesses. Obviously I know they weren't the freaking Disney princesses, but that's what they presented themselves as. I feel like this is what started my ghost encounters. Literally, I was playing with my dolls, right? And next thing you know, freaking Ariel started moving on her own, basically telling me to like hurt my other dolls. So I'm obviously saying like, stop, no. And my grandma comes over and she sees it. My grandma ended up like being weirded out by this, and she throws the dolls that I had away. So I used to believe that they were my imaginary friends because like you can't really explain a ghost to a child. So like I didn't really understand the concept of ghosts. But they started to become really harmful. This is what I mean, right? Basically, they would tell me to like jump out of the window or go get like a weapon and harm myself with it. My grandma and my mom, they didn't know that they became harmful. They didn't know until this one freaking incident. We were literally in the car, right? And it's nighttime. And out of nowhere, I start to hear like, my imaginary friends. They're basically telling me to roll down the window so I can hear them clearly. What was strange about this altercation is that I couldn't see them. And any other time, like I seen them, I knew what they looked like. But this time when I rolled the window down, I couldn't see anything. I could just hear them. They started to sound more distorted, right? Before they had the voices of the Disney princesses, but now they just sounded off. And they're like, come on, come play with us. Like, your mom won't mind. And I'm like, I can't play with you right now. I'm in the car. And they're like, jump out of the window. And I'm like, I can't jump out of the window. Mind you, I'm like 4 or 5 having this conversation with nobody. Look at my little cousin. They keep telling me to jump out the window, and the more they talk, the more they sound demonic. At this point, my grandma and my mom were like, who are you talking to? And I was like, oh, I'm talking to, the Disney princesses. And my grandma was like, stop talking to them right now, because literally the back door unlocked on its own for me to just open the door and jump. Like it literally unlocked on its own. So my mom, she pulled the car over, and my grandma said a prayer and everything. And ever since that time, I have not heard anything from them, but I have had ghost encounters ever since then. I feel like that's what awoken it, because the next on the list is young Kishi. If you know, you know. But yeah,
I got distracted by the baby. I was excited. It was great. She was like, what is this? Huh. First it was like, I don't know if I like how that feels. Let me go in for another one. Huh. I think I liked it. Love it. Girl, what? Girl, I'm glad I didn't know any of the princesses back then except Cinderella and Moana, and I think that was and Sleeping Beauty. Like, I have never seen The Little Mermaid, and it's crazy because my sister loves The Little Mermaid. I've never seen it. I've seen snippets, but I've never watched the whole entire movie. Maybe they just knew. Not redheads, no. Love redheads. How you doing? But maybe they just knew. My family just knew, like, maybe we should stay away from this one. But I've never seen The Little Mermaid. Comment below. I don't think anyone's going to comment like, oh yeah, I've never seen it either. So yeah, that's wild. I've never, and it's crazy because I used to want that, because my favorite movie, and probably still is Toy Story. Like Toy Story 3, we went to go see that and we were crying in the theater. And when I say we, me and my mom, we took, like, you know, people, like, so yeah. Toy Story was my thing, so I always thought that my dolls and stuffed animals moved when I wasn't watching. I always thought that, and I always wanted to catch them doing it. Never happened, thank goodness, because like, can you imagine that? The scaredy cat that I am, and dolls just moving and running around? Honey, what? So yeah, that was wow. We heard about that. How when the D word starts talking to little kids, we just saw a video about that. It's talking to the little boy and telling him to jump out the window. He can fly or whatever. It'll be a trampoline or something to catch him or whatever it was. We just saw that. That's really crazy that whatever it was got into the doll and was just like, oh, this is how I'm gonna get to this innocent baby. And then in the car, like, grandma knew. Grandma saw it. I can't even imagine what grandma was thinking at that moment. Like, this is really happening. And she was just like, let's react, because grandmas know. They know what to do. They probably never experienced it before, but they probably heard stories and know what to do. Or maybe God is like, oh, this is what you do in that moment. Like, this is what you do. So she did the right thing. Throw the dolls away and pray. Because that's crazy. Unlock the door. Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm so glad that little girl was smart. I'm pretty sure her grandma and her family was telling her, hey, look, this is the real. And they were trying to tell her about the ghost. And she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? Like, so I'm really glad they were like responsive and believed her. I'm pretty sure the grandma definitely believed because she saw it herself. But I'm glad she knew not to do those things that she was being told to do. So, because that is crazy.
Y'all want to hear about the time a demon lived upstairs in my house? So we bought our first home last year, November of 2023. There had only been 2 families that had lived in it prior to us. It was originally a 3-bedroom and 2-bath home, but the man that lived in it before us had converted the attic to an upstairs living space with a bathroom in it as well for his 19-year-old son. I believe that they lived here for several years until the son got into a car accident and unfortunately passed away. He did not pass away in this home, and let me make this clear that I do not believe that spirits are people that are left behind. I believe that they are all demons. So when we first toured the home, we went upstairs and it did feel a little off, but I think that we were just so excited about the prospect of buying a home that we didn't really pay much attention to it. However, a few days after we moved in, we started having multiple experiences. So within the first couple of days, we started hearing a lot of noises upstairs. It would sound like somebody was walking upstairs. We would hear bangs and crashes. Our kids would have their doors opened at night. We would see things in our peripheral vision. I started dealing with very severe depression and crying spells. It was awful. So naturally, we went upstairs to pray it out. And while we were upstairs, I really felt like the Lord told me that something was hidden up there. So we began checking all the places that we thought something might be hidden. So we started in the bedroom, worked our way through the hallway, checked the crawl space that was in that room, and then I headed towards the bathroom where there was another crawl space. As I got to the door, I opened up the bathroom door and immediately something slammed it right back in my face. I called for my husband. He came over there with me. He got in that crawl space and almost immediately found a box that had been covered by insulation. When we opened this box, we found a bunch of alcohol bottles that were either empty or mostly empty, but we also found a tore up white t-shirt that looked like it had blood on it. So we immediately grabbed it and went to go dispose of it, and the Lord spoke to my husband and told him to anoint the threshold of the door that is at the top of our stairway. At this point, we knew that it wasn't gone, but we knew that we needed to start praying and fasting, since the Bible says that some of those things only come out with prayer and fasting. However, anointing the threshold of the door kept it up there. It could not cross that anointed line beyond the door, and you could tell it was mad. The banging, footsteps, and just the general activity upstairs increased because the demon was so angry that we had locked it upstairs. It was around Christmas at that time, and I do lighted garland around my stairway, so every night before bed, one of us would have to go over there and unplug it before we went to sleep. And you could literally see at the top of the stairway a 6 or 7 foot giant black man-looking creature just staring and seething at you. So this is my stairway, and you can see up there is where I'm talking about that we anointed that threshold, and you would see something right there just standing and staring at you. So we ended up actually calling about 6 of our friends and asking them to come pray through the upstairs with us and also be fasting with us to try to get this thing out of there. And we didn't plan it this way, but it just turned out that none of them could come on the same night. So it ended up being like 2 could come on Wednesday, 2 could come on Thursday, and 2 could come on Thursday. So there ended up being 3 nights consecutively of us praying through the upstairs. So the first night, one of my friends was coming, and I was on the phone with her as she was pulling into my driveway. And as she pulled in, she immediately said, "Who's upstairs?" And I said, "Nobody's upstairs." And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Somebody is standing at your upstairs window, just staring at me through the window." When I tell you, when you crossed the threshold of that upstairs door, full body chills, like you knew something up there hated you. Every single person that we brought up there through those 3 nights literally would stop as soon as they got over that threshold of that door and be like, "Oh my gosh, what is up here?" When I tell you we slathered that upstairs in oil, we slathered it in oil. Thankfully, the 3rd night, you could visibly feel something release and leave, and we haven't had any issues up there since until recently. All of a sudden, I started doing these videos exposing these spirits, and lo and behold, we've started having noises again. I'll take you guys up there for a tour in my next video just so you can kind of see what it looks like, and maybe you guys can let me know what you feel or what you see. Let me know if you have any stories similar to mine and what you did.
Girl, no. Girl, no. That's what I be talking about when people be talking about the haunting in the place they were haunted. Like, why would we do that? Why are we doing this? Why? We got through it. We don't got to talk about it. Like, girl, bye. I was thinking when she was saying about her friends, she invited her friends to pray and fast with her. I was just thinking, a lot of people aren't equipped for this. Well, everyone's equipped for this. Everyone is. But also, there's levels to this. You got to be protected as well, because you don't want something to jump on you. Like when people are doing, what is it called? What is it called? I can't think of the word right now. When they get the D words out of you, when people are possessed and they're, what is it called? Y'all gonna tell me. But you know what I'm talking about. When I went to, because you know my family's Christian and there's a lot of ministers and reverends in my family, so I think I told you guys this story when I went to a Bible study. There was this lady that was possessed, and I can't think of the word right now, unpossessed her. And basically my grandma was just like, hold this Bible and just pray, and like, so it won't jump on you, like it won't transfer from her to someone else who's not protected. So that's why I was thinking, like, yo, are your friends protected? The fact that they crossed the threshold and was just like, what is this? It makes me a little worried, just a little bit. But I'm assuming, I'm hoping that y'all knew what was up. I'm pretty sure that they anointed themselves before they stepped into the battlefield. I'm hoping and assuming that that's happened. Like they knew that they needed to be prepared, but it seemed like they was just like, what is this? The fact that she saw it, her friend saw it as she pulled up and was looking dead at it, bruh. I can't even imagine that, being on the phone, looking at like, okay, it ain't one of y'all. Yeah, friend. I gotta go. Came up because it's just like, honey, don't call me over for no spirit. Call me for a bug, kill a bug, beat up your baby daddy and his new girl. Call me for some sugar. Don't call me. You know what I'm saying? But those are some good friends. I love that she had friends that was just like, yo, we're gonna come up in here. Get you some friends like that. Get you some friends like that. Like I'll come for the bug, beat up your baby daddy, give you some sugar, and attack whatever's up in your attic. Cause honey, what? She done felt the presence as she's doing a walk through the house. Like she's touring the house that she about to buy. Girl, no. I wonder how cheap it was. Girl, right there. That's why she was excited. Like, this is really cheap and really nice. Why is it so nice and cheap? You know, like, girl, bye. Ain't no way. I could. No. Like, you gotta pay attention to your senses. Gotta pay attention to yourself. Cause yeah, one of y'all said that these ghosts, spirits or whatever aren't really, and that's crazy that she said that, because from my Christian background, that's what they say. They're just like, no. These aren't ghosts. No. They're not good things. That's what they say. So the fact that she said that, like, these spirits are not good things is why, like, it's the first time me hearing somebody else. Well, she might be Christian. It sounds like she might be Christian. So maybe that's just something all Christians know. I don't know. Have you heard that? I know one of y'all said that. Y'all said kid ghosts are not really kid ghosts. They're D words. So yeah, comment below if you believe that. But make sure you like this video before you go, and follow all the creators and subscribe.